I am the host, Richard Ravenbrook, a man, a life coach, and a spiritual mentor who has endeavored to find real spiritual truth and self-enlightenment. With experiences in various ministry types, pagan traditions, and even magical paths. With a love for Mother Earth and the balance of life, I work to channel spirit and to help educate and mentor those striving to deconstruct from mainstream religion and to empower them to find the divinity within themselves and to the truth around them. The messages are focused on everyday life, creating an environment of real coexistence, a world of mutual respect, love, and dignity. The pagan preacher is all things, the preacher and the pagan, speaking from the wisdom of spirit. Welcome everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Leaving Religion. I am Richard Ravenbrook, the host. And today, although many very horrible things have happened in our country, there is a positive, uplifting message to be sent out. And I think many of us already know it. You know, the hurricane that was supposed to come in was supposed to be a Category 5, maybe even a possible 6. But the lightworkers throughout this country and throughout this world, I watched them band together. I watched them unite for the first time in so long. And even though we didn't completely get it destroyed, we still took it down more than 50% of its strength. The damage that could have been done was so much more tremendous. And the next time we continue to do this, we will completely abolish the things that are trying to destroy us. Talking about a spiritual war. And I'm not talking about necessarily just good and bad. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about just the things and the forces in this world that would have us destroyed, would have bad things happen in this world and to our people because we don't know who we are. Most of us don't know who we are. Light workers are out there on a daily basis trying to enlighten people with various podcasts and Facebook profiles and whatever it is that they try to do. Try to enlighten people and to wake people up from such indoctrination that we have in today's country. Most of us don't even get to really pick our religion because we are told what we are when we're born, or we're told what we're not. We're taught what is right and wrong without really even being given a chance to research it for ourselves. What we saw this week is it should bring joy to many people that we came together and we broke something that was meant to break us. And what this means is Spirit's trying to say that we're on the right path. We're on the right path to fixing our world by awakening all the people that we can possibly awaken. And we do that by exercising who we are. When we came together and we did what we did, many people may call it various different things. Some people call it manifestation, some people call it prayer, but it's intent being aimed at a particular topic, subject, and in that intent comes from within. Because that's where the power is. And it's showing people that that power is real, that we are not just empty vessels walking upon this earth, being slaves to a debt system for the rich, for those that know who they are and have enslaved the ones that do not. It should bring joy to all of us. Whether you consider yourself a light worker, whether you call yourself just a person of the craft, a magi, druid, whatever you call yourself, whatever you label yourself, we stood together. We stood together for a purpose and a cause. And it showed us that if we continue to do so, when we continue to be able to lay down those labels of indoctrination and foolish doctrines and rules and bylaws that only divide and simply come together for a purpose of mankind, humanity, and our survival. It showed us that when we do that, we can make more than just a difference. We can completely change our world. What if we came together and started doing the same thing towards poverty, hunger, war? What if we began to focus, as we should be, on the positive? You know, there's so much around us on social media, on the news, and just in general around our communities that it's so negative. And if we're not careful, it brings us into a negative atmosphere, into a negative space. And it brings us down to a low energy level where bad things can happen. That low energy level where dark energies can do the damage they seek to do. For those that would use their intent to harm innocent people simply for profit or resources or whatever it may be. We have the power. You know, the only thing stopping you from being the most powerful, magical person in this world is you. You. Believe in yourself. Believe in what is within you. Believe in all the teachers and the ancestors before us that they tried to teach us. Know who you are. Know thyself. Know who you are on the inside and believe that. But you know, these indoctrinations that we have from birth, especially Christianity, when the very first thing they teach you is that you're not worthy, that you are broken, that you are nothing without the church and without forgiveness. And this is completely the opposite. It's completely opposite of even what Yeshua said. It's completely opposite of the truth. And taking it from a person who did deconstruct from mainstream Christianity, you know, it can be a difficult task to begin to believe in yourself again and to believe in the power that's within you, because we're taught to not look within, but to look outwardly. That we're taught to ask for these things, rather than doing these things. We're taught that the power is somewhere else, in someone else, rather than us. And that's the farthest from the truth. We create the realities around us. If we're always negative, we will see negative. If we're positive, we will see positive. When we manifest change, we see change. Just like when we manifested that hurricane to weaken, to turn, and to put up a shield for the people that are around it. We may not have completely destroyed it, because it's been many, many, many years since we came together like that. But we changed it. We saved lives. We saved people's homes and resources and businesses. We saved. Tell that to yourself. You saved. You saved people within you, within all of us that is around us. We did that. And we can continue to do that if we believe. Not even caring about what religion we are or whether we're no religion at all. Some magical practitioners aren't of any religious division or sect. You know, some, and I don't want to really get into that right now, but I think most of you know what I'm talking about. Most of you that listen to my podcast understand somewhat background of, the magical paths. And I say magical paths, but, even Christianity is magical when it's actually the true Christianity, not what we see in churches today. It's crazy how the church will try to say that everything outside the four walls is demonic or evil. Everything from astrology to whatever. But you know what? Ask yourself, how did the three wise men find what you call the baby Jesus? Through astrology. That's how they found him. They were magi, mages, people of astrology and the stars, people of understanding and wisdom and of the wise. The church and its indoctrination has stripped a majority of the people in our country and in this world of their power, and other religions have too. But Christianity is the one in our country that has done the most damage. And although they do it in good intention, because that's the best way to push an agenda, is to convince people it's the only right way. Convince them that what they're doing is correct. They're right. And they'll fight for it tooth and nail, even though it is wrong. We're taught early in the church that not to question things, and we should have a bully-minded head, stubbornness, that we refuse to believe anything else. And we have a closed mind and a closed heart until our ancestors begin to prick that heart, until spirit and the spiritual world begins to move within our hearts and our minds and our lives, and we get those gentle nudges that kind of tell us that, something's not right here. You may enjoy going to church, you may enjoy the music, but you still know that something's not right. Where's the power? Where's the healing? Where's the manifestations? Why isn't the church doing more than what it is? Why does it seem like it's all about membership and group activities rather than helping our communities, healing our communities? We know there's something wrong, because above a majority of the church doors is written the word Ichabod, that God has left this place, because the kingdom of God is within us. And any person that continues to look outwardly for divinity will never find it. They will find a con. They will find a representation that is not of God, because God is in the kingdom within you. We want to know how to do all these things, how to manifest, how to be that person of the craft, because it is all the same when it's boiled down. It's within you, your belief and your intent, your faith, because faith is belief. So many religions say the same thing, just in different ways. But religions have tried to label things specifically as evil to try to keep you from opening your mind and seeing those things. They try to scare you away from those things so you don't see it. Because when you begin to open your mind and your heart, you begin to see things for what they are and see things for the truth. You see the similarities, and you begin to see the common truth of all these things in that scattered puzzle with pieces all over begin to come together, and you can see the whole picture for what it is. We came together, and we can continue to come together. We can stop these wars. We can stop these corporate entities that simply wish to enslave us further. You know, we the people can come back, but not just as it was, but we can become, we the people, an enlightened gathering of what some would call in the native population the Rainbow Warriors, or the Warriors of the Rainbow. We are the ones that will work to heal Mother Earth, that we understand the balance of life, and we know ourselves, we know each other, we respect each other, and we see the divinity in each other, and we work to use that for the benefit and the good of the whole, rather than just someone's wallet, someone's pocketbook. You know, we have greed and selfishness have destroyed this country. Greed of resources and money and power, and you know, because we're taught this when we're just babies, and when we start school, we're taught to be the best, the fastest, the smartest, to have the biggest house and the fastest car, whatever it may be, even down to the cell phones in our hands or our pockets. We got to have the fastest, most efficient. We are taught to not be satisfied. We are taught that everything we need and want, we want it now, we want it fast. Because even our factories, our places of production, it's about speed, faster, faster, faster. You know, when Spirit is trying to say, slow down. You're not enjoying life. You know, just because you're living, it doesn't mean you have a life. My friends, it's time to have a life. You know, you can wake up and experience life for what it is. Not as a slave to debt. Not as a slave to this world and taxes and everything else that burdens us every day. You know, it saddens me, that so many men and women died to create a country because we were breaking away from a kingdom that was stealing all of our tax money and enslaving us and doing horrible, horrible things to its people. And yet here we are. Here we are in a country that millions of people died for. And here we are again, exactly where we left off. We're in a country that steals. Almost, when you include all the taxes together, you're talking about over 50% of a person's pay is gone. That's theft. To a government that doesn't even care about its people, that doesn't even recognize its purpose and its goal. Our world is in turmoil, our country is in turmoil. And what happened with this hurricane should open our minds and our hearts. It should open our eyes. And Spirit says, if you did that, then you can change that. And rather than just getting depressed and becoming a recluse somewhere or hiding behind something else or someone else, that we can come forward and say, you know what? I have the power to change this. You have the power to change this. And together, we can be a force to be reckoned with. And we're not talking about violence or using weapons of any kind. We're talking about using a spiritual power that is above all other things. That we wrestle against things that are unseen, but yet we see them in our heart, don't we? We see, we feel it. We know when we look around, when we watch the news, when we hear our politicians speak, we feel what needs to be done. And when we say, well, there's not much I can do, yes, there is. Whatever you call it, pray. But when you pray, don't pray that someone outwardly do it for you, but make it happen within you. Visualize what you're asking actually happening. Don't consider it that it's going to be done, but that it already has been done. That's your spoken words, or your words within your heart will manifest into reality. When you push that intent, when you push those spoken words into the universe, it will not come back null and void. It will have an effect. Believe in yourself. Unite with others in your community. Whatever religion they may be, work with people. Work with people and show them. Show them the places where they can learn. Show the places that will show them who they are, not places that will suppress them and will grant them a little bit of emotional high, but will limit their spiritual power, because the church has no spiritual power. Because if they're asking for everything to be done outwardly and for someone else or something else to do it, then there is no power, there is no God in that house. We must look within, because that's where the kingdom is, and that's where God, that's where spirit, that's where power, that's where it all is. That we are spiritual beings having a physical experience. But when these things in this world happen physically, spirit has dominion over that. And when we align our spiritual intent, we make change. We can create a whole new world. Will you come together with me? Will you come together with your brothers and sisters all over the place? And just take hands virtually within your mind, or physically. That would be fantastic. But unite in spirit in the chains of love and unity, and destroy the things that would seek to destroy us. Don't bow down to fear and doubt, but rise up in courage, faith, belief that you are a powerful being, that we are a powerful force. And unlike generations before, we will rise to create a new earth. An earth that loves and respects all life on it. Be blessed, everybody, and blessed be. Thank you, everyone. This is Richard Ravenbrook. From my heart to yours, I hope you are blessed. Please be a blessing. Share these podcasts. Share my short videos. Tell the world the work that's being done. Help me open the minds of those so closed. Help me bring into the fold those seeking truth and enlightenment. Be blessed.